Hello, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day. In this video, I'm going to talk about how you, yes, you, can get richer on Bitcoin in 4 days. That might sound like a bold claim, but it's really not. Okay, here's why. The reason why is because most people talk about how, oh, Bitcoin's wonderful, Bitcoin's number go up, but it's not really about number go up. It's not really about price. It's actually about the community, the friendships, the new networking opportunities you make, and making your whole life richer and better, right? If you're only focused on making your portfolio and your net worth richer, you're missing the point, right? And so everyone talks about this, but a lot of people don't typically have an idea of what practically they can do in Bitcoin that will give them that opportunity. Well, here today, I'm presenting that exact opportunity to you. What I'm about to present to you is an offer of a 4-day private trip, private satellite event in El Salvador on the coast with awesome food, awesome trips, awesome presentations lined up, and even more importantly, awesome people. So if you want to come down to that, this is what this presentation is going to be of what it is. I think it's something that you really might want to consider, especially if you've been looking for an excuse to get down to El Salvador. So without a further ado, let's see some clips of what you can expect when you come down to El Salvador. So this is what this is footage from the area at which the event will be. Now, this is not in conjunction with, but is directly after the Adopting Bitcoin conference this upcoming November 2024 on November 15th and 16th. There are awesome speakers at the event, including Max Kaiser, Stacey Huber, Peter St. Ange, and myself, and many, many other speakers. Dozens of speakers are going to be at the primary conference, 20 minutes outside of San Salvador, the capital of El Salvador. But Bitcoin Bootcamp, what you're seeing on the screen right now, Bitcoin Bootcamp is a separate private 4-day event right after the main conference. So if you want, you can come down to El Salvador for a whole week, spend the first 2 or 3 days at the main conference where there's hundreds of people, and then you could spend 4 days afterwards with myself, my co-host, and everyone else on the trip where you'll get to see some of the sights of El Salvador. We'll get to hang out on the beach. We'll talk Bitcoin. We'll set up multi-sig vaults for people and other self-custody uses for people. We'll get Bitcoin treasury strategy discussions going, which tend to be really, really useful for people, especially those with retirement portfolios, higher net worths, businesses, whatever. And so this is going to be a very small private event, less than a dozen people. And that's what you can expect. So this waterfall, these hiking trails, everything you're seeing on the screen here, these are the exact spots that we'll be hanging out. We'll be hiking, talking Bitcoin, talking shop. These are events I love to go to. These are my favorite kinds of events because they're not in a hotel room, but they're actually out in life. And that's where you get the memories. That's where you get the wonderful times with people. So some things to expect at Bitcoin Bootcamp, as far as those fun things go, as you're seeing on the screen, are surfing. There's a private pool. There's an awesome little place where people can hang out and rest, relax, talk. We'll have a screen where we'll do some presentations, and we'll adjust those presentations depending on the skill level of people attending. Right now, also you can get a discount if you join my Retire on Bitcoin community. We're giving $300 off to people that are members of that community. Part of the whole intention of that community is via the subscription model, give people a way to be notified of these events first and to get primary tickets for these events and get discounts on those. So if you want to join the Retire on Bitcoin community at the time of recording, it's $10 a month. So for a $300 discount on this ticket alone, I think it's a pretty good deal on that. So this is Bitcoin Beach here. We will be seeing this at Bitcoin Bootcamp. You'll be able to go to El Zonte. We'll do all the restaurants, all the awesome restaurants. You'll get to experience those as well as the awesome Bitcoiners that run those restaurants. Hopefully, I'm trying to organize some sort of Bitcoin or church volunteering thing. So maybe for like an afternoon, we might go to some local school, interact with the kids, talk about Bitcoin. Obviously, there'll be a language barrier, but that's kind of the hope of having this kind of not really organized, but at least a little bit more organized event is that this is part of what you get. We're going to have group transportation for everybody. We're going to have people able to translate. So if you can't speak Spanish, that's okay. And since we're traveling with the group, if you've never been to El Salvador before, I highly recommend having locals to network with, right? Obviously, we all believe El Salvador is pretty safe. Obviously, we all want to be optimistic with that. But at the end of the day, the reality is that a lot of people I talk to just don't get the urge or don't decide to take a leap of faith of going to El Salvador because they are still concerned. Is it safe? What if I get lost? There's a language barrier. I don't know much. Is the cell service good? Like, I don't want to be stranded in the middle of jungle, not knowing any Spanish, not having any phone access, right? That's the kind of thing people are afraid of. But this is the beauty with traveling with a group is that you get all the downsides protected of all of those things. But even more importantly, you get the upsides of you get to travel with people. you get to make new friends, right? So now we're looking at some footage of the Adopting Bitcoin conference. This is again a separate event, a separate ticket on November 15th and 16th. This is footage from last year. It was an awesome time. I was able to go there. Big shout out to Max Kaiser and Stacy for letting me come and for doing a couple shows and table discussions with me. But again, for Bitcoin Bootcamp, this is one of the things we're hoping to do, travel and visit a little coffee farm, right? So if you want to visit a legitimate in-country coffee farm, that's something that we're going to do. I'll have some good connections there that are setting us up. You can text the phone number you see on the screen to apply. Tickets, like I said, are limited. Again, people within the Retire in Bitcoin community get first dibs on tickets, and they get a $300 discount for this trip. Everyone else, the tickets are set obviously $300 higher, and those will be bid up if there is more demand for the remaining tickets than there has been yet. So Bitcoin talks, discussions, and tech support, that's one of the things we're going to be focusing on, as well as your personal multi-sig vaults. We're going to be setting up OTC desks for people, especially if they have a business or something like that. That's only for members that come from the US or Canada, unfortunately. But ultimately, again, most important is not the technical support you're going to get, but hopefully we're going to make friends. You're going to get awesome memories. You're going to relax. You're going to stack more Bitcoin. There are 6 tickets left, okay? We are pricing these tickets to move them, okay? We're getting kind of close to El Salvador here. People are making their plans, and so some people are coming, but we're trying to just get rid of the tickets and sell them for as cheap as possible. I think it's a really good deal. We'll get to that at the end of the video here. But beautiful landscape, beautiful hiking trips we'll be able to do. I did a not very similar, but a very similar location event I did in February 2024 was to Guatemala. I took 3 awesome Bitcoin friends, one of whom was a family member of mine, and we went on a mission trip to Guatemala. We went on a mission trip to Guatemala. We installed wood-burning stoves for over 600 people, predominantly wives, mothers, and small children. And it was an awesome experience. We spent 1 week volunteering for locals and helping them out and spreading the gospel and giving out educational supplies, school supplies, and everything else. In the second week, we went to Bitcoin Lake. If you've ever heard of Bitcoin Lake in Guatemala, we went there the second week, explored the local Bitcoin circular economy. It's one of the largest ones in the entire world. We hand glided. There were volcanoes. We hiked a bunch. We hiked on some of the volcanoes. We did the Bitcoin boat. We did all those things. So that was another event associated with my Retire in Bitcoin community, which is, again, well, I would encourage you to sign up to that, right? You're going to get notified of all these satellite events to all these conferences, mission trips, think tanks, and private invites, all that. So this is, again, the beach. What you're looking at now, this is just the one for 2024. Again, November 2024. There will be more opportunities next year. It's not like this is the last chance that you have to do it, but this is probably the last chance at this certain price point. Again, we're pricing these tickets to sell. We're giving $300 off to people, which is already a very reasonable ticket for a 4-day trip. If you want the ability to write this trip off from your taxes, especially if you're a business professional or somebody looking to do this for content or something else business related, talk to your tax person. You might even be able to write this off. But even if not, it's going to be an awesome, fun vacation, if nothing else alone, right? Yes, it's going to be work related. Yes, we're going to be talking about a lot of technical stuff and Bitcoin brainy stuff, but also it's going to be fun. What you're seeing on the house here is the house on the ocean that we will have for everyone. This is what my wonderful co-host, who I won't name because he's private, he's not public online. This is his beautiful house he is offering up for this event. He's thrilled to have us all. It's a beautiful house, recently renovated, very nice furniture, beds. It is air conditioned. There is a great pool, and of course we're going to have food cater us to twice a day as well. So again, that's November 17th to 21st this year in 2024. Okay, it might actually just be till the 20th, but keep in mind the 21st in case, travel plans go through the night or the next morning or whatever, right? So again, you can find a link below that to the Retire in Bitcoin community. And as we wrap up the video here, here's just a quick little summary of what the whole trip looks like, right? So obviously, picture of the house at which you'll be staying at. Again, this is for the 4 days immediately after the Adopting Bitcoin conference on November 15th and 16th. If you want to stay at the house during the Adopting Bitcoin conference on the nights of the 14th, 15th, 16th, that is possible. It is a 30-minute drive away from the event, so it's not the most ideal location. However, if you want the simplicity of only one place to stay instead of 2, that is an option for you, right? So again, it's a 4-day trip to the El Salvador coastline, November 17th to 21st this year, okay, immediately after the Adopting Bitcoin conference. Right now, there are currently 6 tickets left, $1,190, so basically $1,200, which is under $300 a day. Personally, I think this is a very, very fair price. My co-host agrees. with that, you were getting lodging, you were getting all the time of the speakers, myself, and perhaps maybe crossing fingers, some other surprise speakers that I'm probably can't announce yet, but we're trying to get some other surprise speakers that will stop in, give some talks. So you're getting all the information, all the alpha from those presenters. You're getting all of the technical support. Again, if you've been procrastinating and putting off getting your multi-sig vaults, getting your self-custody, getting off the exchanges, this is something I can help you with personally in person at this event. That's going to be one of the workshops we do with people. Handhold you actually taking self-custody of your Bitcoin, right? So if you've been procrastinating that, this is a very good excuse, a very good push to get you to do that, right? So that is something that you're getting. Again, that is included within the $1,200, $300 a day. And again, there's a $300 discount for members of my Retire on Bitcoin community, which at the time of recording is only $10 a month, right? So if you are part of that community and you decide to go, that's only $220 a day. That's very fair. And again, that includes your lodging, that includes your food, that includes the group transportation, and that includes all the other wonderful things I've described, right? So I'm a co-host along with another Bitcoin host of this house who is a Bitcoin professional. Again, we'll help you set up collateral custody multi-sig vaults with one-on-one in-person coaching, nothing on Zoom, no more stupid Zoom, right? You're doing it literally on the beach of El Salvador. If nothing else, that's a really awesome story. Again, you'll have OTC desks set up for you if that's something you desire. If you desire hosted mining, if you desire having your estate planning setting up, and if you just want to brainstorm and think through ways how to orange pill your spouse, your business, your church, whomever in your life that you deeply, deeply love and care about, we can brainstorm and talk about how we can be of use and helpful to them. And maybe even, maybe you want to bring somebody, right? Maybe you want to bring your son that you've been trying to orange pill, or your dad if you're trying to orange pill, or your church clergy, or your coworker at work, right? Like maybe they would want to actually come and do this. That's doubtful, but to each their own. Like I think it's at least worth asking, right? And inviting them in case they get some FOMO next year, right? So again, the Adopting Bitcoin conference is immediately before this event. A part of this Bitcoin bootcamp is you'll get a reaction to that. We'll be able to talk about all the things and digest all the things we saw at the actual conference. It's going to be an overwhelm of information at the main conference on the 15th, 16th. So Bitcoin bootcamp, you can wind down, decompress. We can talk about all the things we saw and heard. Okay, and again, that's a separate event. The ticket to that's not included. I believe it's under $400 right now. For 2 days, not including lodging. So again, the Bitcoin Bootcamp is going to be mainly focused on, well, really anyone, but we're having some talks and discussions around Bitcoin businesses, entrepreneurship, getting churches onboarded, and Christian mission organizations onto Bitcoin, as well as networking opportunities. Of course, like I said before, we're going to El Zonte, otherwise known as Bitcoin Beach. We're going to do a tour of that. You'll be able to go to Bitcoin bars, cafe tours. We'll have some events where we go as a group, other events where we arrive there as a group and then everyone disperses and does their own thing. We'll figure it out as we go. It's pretty relaxed. Again, translation will be provided, and experienced locals will be able to tell you what all the awesome places to see are, and we'll make sure that we're having the most efficient, fun, and still relaxing experience for everyone. Like I said, pretty casual format, right? If you are completely new to Bitcoin, right? If you're like, Luke, I've got 50 grand of fiat in my bank. I want to buy Bitcoin. I don't know anywhere where to start, but this sounds like a great thing. This is the event for you, right? This is going to be a newbie friendly event. Now, at the same time, if you're somebody that says, I've got a $10 million business, I desperately need a Bitcoin treasury strategy for 1% of my balance sheet or whatever, what do I do? How do I figure it out? How do I get OTC desk and a vault? And how do I orange pill my business partner, whatever? This event is for you too, right? No matter if you're experienced, no matter if you're new, this is going to be an event where we will adjust to you and hopefully make this a fun experience for everyone. Those are my favorite kind of events, where you have one event where you have both newbies and OGs, where you have people with 6-figure net worths and people with 7 or 8-figure net worths, all the same place. That, I think, are the most fun events of all. Okay. Speaking of fun, the fun activities, again, there's a waterfall hike, group activities. There's going to be a group hike. There's a private pool just for our residents, lots of private coastline for surfing, for swimming, all that stuff. Local restaurants. We're going to tour a coffee farm. We might even be able to tour some private real estate developments by Bitcoiners. There's a bunch of casitas. There's a resort and a few other houses that are being built by Bitcoiners along the coastline. We might be able to tour those projects and talk with some of the real estate investors that are investing tens of millions of dollars into El Salvador's real estate on coastline. And again, what amenities are included with your ticket of $1,200 down to $800? What are the amenities included with that? Lodging. If you already have your own lodging booked for those nights, you can get up to a $350 discount depending on how many nights are booked. 2 meals a day, that's included with that, and of course air conditioning, a proper bed, right? You may or may not have a private room depending on what your preference is. Some of rooms have bunk beds, other rooms are private, but whatever the case, it's a gated house, it's a gated property, completely safe. I was there last year. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And of course, group transportation locations, like I described before, is provided. So, if any of this sounds interesting to you, I highly encourage you to consider it. Okay, again, we're pricing these tickets to sell. I'm having a very busy end of the year, as well as my co-host for this event, and we were just like, okay, let's just sell the tickets. Let's just get rid of them, right? We could obviously charge more. I would not be surprised if next year this exact kind of event is 2, 3, maybe even 5 times as expensive. And I'm not saying that to install too much FOMO. I'm just saying it because it's very probably true, right? It's a limited event, only so many people. Next year, when the FOMO is off the charts, probably demands to be a lot higher, right? So anyway, I believe these tickets are very fairly priced, as well as my co-host. The ultimate goal is to give you memories that you're going to have for a lifetime, and ultimately help you get richer in Bitcoin, right? Maybe we'll help you stack more Bitcoin. My average client, as an example, at the Bitcoin Advisor, we help them stack 51.2% more Bitcoin within the first 12 months. So this trip might help you think of new ways to stack more Bitcoin. But even if you don't get a single additional sat as a result of going to this event, my hope and prayer is that this event is a lifetime memory for you, where you make new friends, at least one new friend, at least one new business connection, and at least one new lifelong memory. And if any of those any of those three come true, and ideally all three of those come true, my hope is that it's a very, very worth it event. So if that interests you, please text the phone number on the screen that you see at the bottom here, Bitcoin Bootcamp 2024. Just text Bitcoin Bootcamp 2024 to that phone number, and we'll reserve your spot. We'll figure out payment and everything else down the line. We'll get all the details sent to you. If you want to join my Retire on Bitcoin community, again, text that number and say you want to join that to get a $300 discount, or click the link in the video's description below, where you can sign up for the Retire on Bitcoin community, get that discount to this event, and be notified of future events coming down the line. And I can't say too much yet about those, but there's a lot of awesome events coming down the line, all across America and all across the world. So thanks for your time, thanks for your attention, and hopefully this video and the ideas discussed in this video are going to make your life even richer in Bitcoin. And whatever you do, even if you don't go to this event, make some friends. Okay, go to Bitcoin conferences, make friends. These people believe in the same project, this Bitcoin global monetary project you believe in, and they want to get to know you, right? So anyway, that's my pitch for today. Take action now, because I fully expect within a week or two that these tickets are going to be gone. So thank you. Have an awesome day.